Hello everyone and welcome back. I've been promising you this one for a very long time and I finally get the chance to get to it. So today, let's leave Warhammer out for a little while and let's talk about the Fishbone, the Shargagan, the Jinx, whatever big thing she has. I think it's done. It took probably the longest out of all the projects we have here right now, and I'm surprised it's finished. Actually, we ran into a couple of problems, and I don't know, I was kind of ready to give up, but we didn't, and I think it's awesome. So let's talk about it a little. I think this one is going to be shorter, but does anyone really care? So, the gun, right? Uh, when we were talking about it, or it was like, I was planning on making Jinx cosplay, and I was thinking we're just going to make the little pistol. Little did I know, Nerf is making the real gun, or like the real gun. And I think it was just days, like 2 or 3 days, there was the Nerf big again. And the Saras was like, yeah, it was in Germany, so I ordered it. And I think it's a limited edition or something. I'm just going to, put the photos and what we got when it arrived. I'm going to put it here somewhere. So the gun just arrived and I was like, wow. Like just in the box, it looks absolutely amazing. And I was really excited to do it. Then I put it on Instagram and said I'm gonna repaint the whole thing, and people were like, no! And I was like, yes. Sorry. My problem with it was very plasticky, which makes sense, right? For Nerf guns, they're always plastic. And for the kids, I guess they don't really care. Or probably some adults are playing with it. I don't know, I'm an adult and I have a Nerf gun, so what can I say? So the gun arrived, and for the longest time I was putting it off. Cause honestly, I was just thinking about what's gonna happen if I'm gonna screw it, and I had no idea how to paint it. Because when you look at Arcane and the way the graphic looks, it's like pretty awesome, absolutely amazing actually. And it's so hard to replicate, or like for me, it was kind of hard to replicate, cause it looked painted, but at the same time it's 3D and it's awesome and it's also animated, and I don't know what's going on there. It's just epic. So I was really scared to start with that. So we took the gun apart and like take everything that's inside the Nerf, put it on the side so we could like use the springs and the mechanism and everything later, and I was left with the shell. And the first thing I did, I took the smallest fin from the bag, and I was thinking like, okay, I can try it on this little piece. So I went out, sprayed it, like primed it grey, and then I was thinking, right, now I have to somehow put all the colors there and like the brush strokes and everything. And I was so surprised at how easy it actually was. I don't have the painting footage because I was doing it on my laptop, and like literally the laptop was my table. And I was painting it and I was like, that's actually working, or like, you can take a look and tell me if it's working or not. But for me it was working and I was actually surprised and super happy with it. Like absolutely amazed. And so I like had a plan in my mind, like little tiny plan, and I was thinking like, yeah, I can do it, but when you compare the little fin that it's on the tail to the rest of the gun that's like this big, that's like insane. It's 3D, which means you take the gun apart and it's two big pieces, so you need to paint piece 1, piece 2, you need to make them look like they fit together. And then there was the head that scared me more than anything, because I knew like the head is going to be the part I need to work on most. But anyway, the fin was done, like the test piece fin was done, and I was ready to move on. The thing was, I knew there are going to be LED strips going through the whole gun, and to do that I had to make holes into the gun, which in some groups was again considered heresy. I want to say I went for it the smart and professional way, probably, which would be I just took the, measuring things, and I've made a really precise sketches on the gun, or like markings, and made sure I know what I'm doing and I'm going to like make something really good. But I didn't. I just sketched some, like, yeah, there's going to be an opening and there's going to be opening, and the circle bits on the top side of the gun, I don't know what it's supposed to be, because it's definitely not fins or something, but it like looks cool. And it was originally made of plastic, and I was like thinking, yes, I'm going to drill holes through that, and I did. And then I had to stop for a while with the project, because we have this little drill, like a hand drill thing, I don't know, it's like Dremel but from Parkside. And I was thinking like, yay, I can just take it and make the individual holes. And the plan for that was absolutely genius, and it worked until the plastic got too hot, so it actually stayed on the drilling bit. And because I was going through the plastic multiple times, I didn't just take the normal bit, I took something that's used for CNC or whatever. I don't know, Mark was explaining it to me, I kind of forgot, but it was like this super sharp bit. And I decided when the plastic is on there, instead of using pliers or something, I just took it with my hands and like twisted it out, which worked for the plastic, kind of, but it also worked for my fingers, so all three of these were like carved a little. And so for the next 2 days I just had them bended, so I couldn't do much on the gun. And then I was kind of paranoid, because it was halfway through when I decided to cut open my fingers, and then I was like, yep, not a good way to do this. So that slowed the project down a little, but I did manage to get it done in the end with all of my fingers. If you're interested, I still have 10 of them. Just a little fun tip, right? If you're using something sharp, maybe don't clean it with your fingers, it's going to hurt. After my little injury, I was a lot more careful but a lot less motivated to actually finish it. So I switched to the other projects I needed for Jinx, which is this beautiful piece, for example. And this one, unlike the Jinx gun or the shark gun, I don't know, I just call it Jinx gun. People usually correct me for FISHBONE. Sorry. I just can't help it, so I'm really sorry. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the Arcane fans or League of Legends fans or anything. I'm just having fun with these projects, okay? But this one is so adorable. Like, look at it. It's like the model we printed. We figured later we could just adjust it a little and make it like even prettier. But on the photos, again, it looks really good. So, I'm also happy with all of these details. There is like somewhere the little heart or something. Yeah, there it is. Jinx would probably put there, and all the like color splashes and everything. It turned out pretty well. Also, this paint is half fluorescent, so first there's like a layer of the classic pink and neon blue or whatever it was, and on top of that is fluorescent paint. So if we're going to put it under the UV lamp, it actually glows, which to me is like so amazing, right? That's definitely something Jinx would use. So I'm super excited about that, and we definitely need to find a way to use these colors more on the photos. Probably not. I don't really want UV light in my face, and I also have no idea how to work with those, even if we like, you know, get the big bulbs. But then again, it's used in gloves, so it's probably not a problem. I don't know, maybe in the future. But anyway, this one I absolutely love. I also managed to drop it already, as I do with probably every project, and I knocked all of this, like this upper part of it. So the power sword tradition continues. Also, if you haven't seen that one, go check the power sword, because that's like amazing. What we also did when I needed to be distracted from the actual gun, because I was so scared I'm gonna mess it up, we printed out this one, which is for the Hextech crystal, and that was also a fun project. First of all, I'm not using clear resin like that often. I don't know if it's like, it doesn't even look that translucent on the camera, but you know, in real life it works. So, but the Hextech crystal was like my later addition. I was like, it would be so cool if I could have something in my hand and it would like glow. And we were like, we have transparent resin and we could probably try. And also it worked. So on the photos you can check it out. The only problem is, and that would also need adjustments, is what we were thinking a bit later, was we could actually make the hole in the crystal a bit bigger and put the whole electronics inside the crystal, so the LED, the batteries and the switch, which would probably be a resistance switch or something, so whenever you like touch it and connect the contacts with your finger, all like the resistance of your body, it actually works. And so maybe version 2 is coming. I don't know if you want to see it. We can definitely make it, but it wasn't a priority, so yeah, the crystal. Also, there's a lot of, and I don't know where I put it, so I can't really show you, but the thing I love most about this project probably is the little coin Jing had, and I'm gonna put it here again. I love the little like blood splashes on it, it's like so good. Right, and after my side projects were done, I finally found the courage to actually paint the fishbone, and it turned out to be so cool. Like, again, I didn't film it because I was mostly doing it while watching movies, and I was like, at first I was kind of scared. There was a couple of shades of first blue and then purple, and I was thinking like, how do I mix them, because I usually mix the colors. This one, if you like ever need a rich blue, almost like a royal blue if you layer it, Vallejo, I think it's Azul. Yeah, Azul blue. It's so pretty. And so no matter what kind of blue I would put underneath to, like, you know, mask the grey parts a little, it would just turn out amazing with this blue. And that kind of gave me the confidence to like finish the whole thing, because I was like, yeah, this blue is looking pretty good and it's on the top, so everything you're looking at is right on the top and it's actually looking amazing. And since it's like really vibrant and like right here it looks more blue than it actually is, the moment you start to layer it, it gets dark and really rich. And so that's the good thing, because the darker parts were like more layers and I was just doing the opposite of what you normally do, because normally when you paint something you want it smooth, like the colors and the transitions between the colors or like individual shadings, you want them to be as smooth as possible. And here what was the fun part was you just take it, you make a stroke and you leave it there and you can actually see it. And for the whole theme of Arcane, it just looks, in my mind, it works so well. Yeah, there's one stroke, there's another, and you just go like this through the whole gun and it's like so much fun. And then the final details you put on it, it just elevates everything even more. So you take the, I think the most visible and like probably best for explanation are the metallic parts. I went with this one, which is steel in this bigger container. Again, amazing shade, it like looks really steely. It hit the plastic beneath it in like the first layer and I was like, wow. So again, that gave me so much confidence, because I was like, if the next layer doesn't work, I can always go back and redo it and I know it's going to look at least this good. And any kind of other layer I added, the darker for the shades or like the lighter for the highlights, it just worked amazingly on the gun. Because, you know, you take the edges and you just go around with really light steel color and it likes look like you have the elevated edges and all the scratches and everything. It's suddenly there, it looks used, it looks worn, and it looks absolutely amazing, like you could actually use it in the show. And my mind was just blown. I wasn't having it. I thought it's going to be like, you know, not bad but not the best job. And don't get me wrong, it definitely isn't the best job. I'm pretty sure someone who like knows what they're doing or is like really experienced or knows the style of Arcane a lot better would do a lot better work with the gun. But for me it was like first time trying it and it was looking this good. So I was like pretty impressed actually. And then the big bad thing happened again, because every time we have this project, it's going well, it's amazing, I'm having fun, and then something just doesn't work. And so we took it out of the gun, we took it out and put it on the table and I left it on mark and I was like, yeah, just put some coat, like protective, you know, translucent coat on it so it doesn't scratch the color. And he did, and for some reason the color decided to react, or like the spray we use every single time decided to react with the colors we use every single time. And I can't even blame it on humidity, because it wasn't humid, it was in the middle of summer. Like, you know, in Czech Republic there's no humidity in summer. He just took it back and it was like there were these white spots suddenly, and it ruined some of the details. Luckily it was mostly on the metallic parts and the black like undercoat or whatever it is, so that was a good thing and it was kind of easy to fix. But I was so like not demotivated but kind of angry, because it took a lot of time to put the whole paint on the thing and, like, you know, get it ready, and suddenly the details were gone and I hated it. But again, fixed it, repainted it, then we took it out for like a different, I don't know what really changed, it was like different day and the weather seemed the same, the sprays were the same, suddenly it worked, so probably not a big deal, but we fixed it. So And so I have like 5 minutes before I have to run to work, so let's make this really quick, okay? Putting the light strip into the gun was kind of a pain, and I was trying to help him, but you know, there's not enough space for one person, so you can't really just put all of your hands there and be like, I'm helping. So I kind of left him alone in there. We put everything inside the gun, and we realized the batteries are too small. Yeah, the batteries were kind of a problem. And it's like with these projects, we're like never sure how big the LED or like how long the LEDs are going to be. Because when you're looking at it, it's like, yeah, it's like the gun is this big, or like the part you're going to be putting the LEDs through is like this big. We can like calculate it, you know, one way or another. But then when you have it in like in front of you and you see like okay, there's the strip is going this way and then it's going back, and you're like it's actually missing a piece here, or it's like not going to be illuminated at all at this part, and it's going to be glowing somewhere beneath the plastic. You just have to kind of adjust it, right? So this would happen, and we had to like redo it, all that fun part you do with cosplay. And it was finally ready. And the new battery pack arrived, which was also delayed. It's like getting kind of like, okay, it's not going to arrive at all. And it did. And the fun part, it's always these little things you never think about. And it arrived, and there was a wrong connector, so we have the station for recharging the batteries, but we don't have the right connector. So just yesterday we went to get a lab station so we can actually like power it and charge the batteries, and we can finally finish the gun with everything that's supposed to be in there. And so first of all, thank you so much for getting with the gun and with me all the way through here. It's a bit chaotic, it's a lot less like informative than than the Warhammer ones, because I didn't know what I was doing, right? And the gun was for the most part like me painting it and like taking it apart and everything. It was all the way before I decided I could make videos, so I didn't really record that much of it, because I was like, I'm just going to put this in the story, and maybe like there's one or two things I can just, you know, keep for later, like for me. So that's like, this is how I did it, but I wasn't recording it with the intention of putting it into a video. So yeah, you know, you're just stuck with me talking for 20 minutes, sorry. But yeah, that's what I was going to say. Thank you so much for watching. Even this is very chaotic and there's like not that much information, because I just don't have it. I didn't have it when I was doing it, and I don't have it now. But if you like want me to, or like want to see me how I paint it, I can like print some part of the gun or something, and we can like, you know, make a little tutorial of this is how I painted the gun or something. But I'm terrible at tutorials, she said while being a teacher. So yeah, that's all for this part. I'm going to get back a bit later when we actually charge the batteries and we can like see the whole gun actually working. It was working for a while with the old batteries, but the thing is, it worked for a little while and then there was no more power, so yeah. So for the grand reveal, you'll have to wait just as much as I, and put it later here at the end of the video. So yeah, thank you and see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye!